Welcome to the SandnesGarn podcast. I feel like we're real extra close today.
I think we are.
This is weird. Okay, well, we're going to go with it. Hi, my name is Sharon, and I'm the owner of the SandnesGarn.
And I'm Kaylee. I'm your Gen Z yarn guide here at the SandnesGarn.
I love it. It's so good.
Someone else said I should be your right-hand man or something, because I would sit on your right side.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Right-hand Gen Z yarn whisperer.
Ooh.
Well, you whispered that tangled yarn yesterday. Oh, goodness. Okay, so hello, welcome. And I don't know why I feel like totally out of sorts filming this podcast for some reason. Like I don't have enough stuff in front of me. Part of that is because I finished my whips. And I'm actually being good, and I haven't really cast on anything new. Shocker. Don't worry, I'm okay. You don't need to send help. I am preparing to go to a knitting retreat, and so I'm kind of saving up all the new fun things to knit on at the retreat. So, but we can jump in and get started with finished objects. I actually have two, one you haven't seen at all, but I think this deserves like a drum roll.
Not loud enough.
Ta-da! It's so big now. So this is the Chevronopolis, which you have seen for months. Literally, when I had it blocking in the sink, Josh walked in and he was like, "Oh, you finally finished it." And I was like, "Really?" He's like, "Well, I've had to write it on the podcast for I don't know how many episodes," because he does all the podcast editing stuff. So, yes, it is finally finished. It is gorgeous. I love it. You want to hold that in so we can kind of see the whole fade. So, this is color-wise. Spincycle is Stay Ready, Grumpy Birds, and then moves into Light Years. And then the main color is Raven in Andorra Sport. Raven is out of stock currently, but it is on its way. It'll probably be here actually by the time this podcast goes up. So if you are looking for the jet black, it is a true black. Excuse me. There's ink black and there's Raven. Ink black is not a true black, but it's darker than charcoal. I don't know how to describe it. It's like almost like a very dark graphite pencil. Very almost black. But Raven is true black. I think we might have one skein left of Light Years. It was very popular with the Andrea Mowry release. I know we don't have Grumpy Birds, unfortunately, but we do have Stay Ready. We have Reykjavik, which would be real pretty. You could do one. Oh, you could do Reykjavik into Castaway and then into one of the blues because it's got the gray. Oh yeah, that'd be. Or Space Oddity. So Reykjavik, Space Odyssey, and then Havana, the new ones. Yeah, that'd be real pretty. That. Yeah. So lots of options. Obviously, the pattern was written for just one colorway of Spincycle, 3 skeins. But I thought it was fun to kind of fade the fading Spincycle together. So it's a great way also if you have a bunch of like 3 skeins that's like, well, I don't want to use them in a shift cowl. I don't know what to do. Maybe you got them as like store exclusive colorways, something like that. Be a fun way to use them up in one project. And then just pair it with either a white, a gray, a black, a brown, a neutral, or a neon, or whatever you want for it. So the pattern is Chevronopolis by Maxim Cyr. The only reason it took me a long time was because it was a project I didn't work on super often. That being said, I did enjoy knitting on it. Yes, it was slip stitches, and so in the beginning, because I hadn't done a lot of slip stitches, I felt it was kind of tedious. But after I got going with it, it was very fun to knit on. And I got to the point of even knitting on it, like watching TV. Because I know if you watched way back, I was like, this is a concentrated morning knit. But it definitely, once I kind of got the rhythm of it, it was relaxing knitting for sure. So, again, Maxim Cyr, Max the Knitter, Chevronopolis, and it is basically, if you don't want to use Spincycle, you don't have to, just two colors of sport. You could even, because of how it like has these like stripe sections, you could just use up a bunch of sport weight scraps if you had them, and just do a different color stripe. There's a lot of different ways you could kind of interpret it for sure. But it is all finished, and I love it. So, any FO?
No, but I'm just going to briefly talk about my crazy notes.
Yes.
I did finish the ribbing. It needs to be steamed. It's a little... But I did finish that.
Very good.
I think I'm going to take a break from it for a little bit to kind of figure out what I want to do with the sleeves, give it some thought. But I have other things I'm working on, so no problem there.
So it's kind of, it's not necessarily finished, but it's on pause.
Yes. So.
But, I mean, it's at a point where it could almost be finished.
Yes.
If you go that route. Okay.
Oh my gosh, you did it.
I did.
I didn't even know you did that.
Yes. So, long story short, I saw this girl on Instagram packing for some trip. I like to watch carry-on only packing videos. I really hope that doesn't mess up. I normally put it on. Okay, good. Sorry, normally I put my phone on airplane mode to film and family group text. Anyway, so before I show it. So I was watching this girl on her packing video. She was going someplace exotic or something like that, but she was showing, it doesn't matter. Anyway, she held up this bag that she was like, oh, and I'm so excited to take this blah, blah, blah bag because it's going to be so cute by the pool and by the beach and everything. And I was like, that looks like a crocheted little bag. And so she had linked it. So I was able to look at the bag. It looked more like this, the one that she was showing. And it was a little bit more tapered. But they wanted like almost $200 for it. I mean, it's crocheted, so it is handmade. I totally get that. I'm not knocking the price at all. It's just, why would I do it when I can do it for $95 of craft supplies, as the meme says. It did not cost me $95 in craft supplies. It was 2 skeins of Circulo Duna. So, I did not follow a pattern. I just looked at the picture and kind of winged it. I know enough of crochet to feel somewhat confident in it. If you are an expert in crochet, don't look at this too closely. But basically, I could tell from the picture it was most likely half double crochet. And it was obviously a flat bottom, so make my bottom, and then it tapered in. Like I said, theirs tapered in, I feel like a little bit faster, and so it made the hole like here like really small. Like I wanted to be able to fit my phone in here. Okay, so I just kind of did, what did I do? When I stopped increasing for the bottom, I would do a round with a decrease and then like 1 or 2 rounds plain, and then another decrease. And I decreased like every like quarter. Like I said, I'm not very good at patterns with crochet, so I just kind of winged it. But I did that until it was tall enough / I was starting to run out of yarn. And then I did this little slope decrease, did the little strap, attached it here, and of course left like a ridge. And so I had enough yarn. I just wanted to put this little fringy thing. I thought it was really cute and beachy. So yeah. Now I have a cute little beach pool bag to put keys and phone and a wallet in and just look all chic and cute. And so this was Circulo's Duna in the black. I held it double. throughout because I wanted it to be a thick, sturdy. This is like the pictures, and it may be starched. There's, but it's very rigid. Mine obviously is more flexible. But I still crocheted at a fairly tight gauge. So Duna is supposed to be a DK weight, held double, so it's kind of like a bulky-ish. And I used I think a I or a J hook. Don't recall. Maybe 5mm? Maybe a 5mm hook. So again, fairly dense crochet. All half double, because that's what the photograph looked like. It's some like, I want to say it's like a company out of maybe Saudi Arabia, somewhere in the Middle East, something like that. Apparently it's getting popular with the influencers and whatnot, but I thought it was really cute to kind of make my own. And honestly, I mean, if you have, of course, Duna is cotton. You could use Linny for some more bright colors. You could use the Ticklin, which is the thick lin, and then you wouldn't have to hold it double. So lots of possibilities for sure if you're into crochet. And I'm sure you could knit something very similar as well. I was going to say,
I have seen a lot of knitting patterns for bags like that on Ravelry.
So back when I first saw this, I was like, oh, maybe somebody, maybe this company ripped off somebody else. I don't know. But I searched Ravelry. I didn't see anything exactly like this, but I did see, of course, the dumpling bag is somewhat similar, a little bit different shape and arm. Strap. That's the word I'm looking for. Strap. But I think it's the dumpling bag by Pearl Soho would be a very similar finished look, but knitted for sure. But yeah, there's tons, way more knitted and crocheted bags that aren't just like your typical fruit market bag out there. There was actually a really cute fanny pack. Oh, and it was knitted. It was a knitted fanny pack. It was really cute. And like she finished it off with like little leather tabs and all this.
Cute.
Yeah, you might have to look on bags on Ravelry because they were cute. Okay, what else are you working on?
Show my new cast on that I've worked on a lot because I cast it on like right after the last podcast.
I was about to say I haven't seen this.
Well, I ripped out yarn from an old sweater. Okay, well, first of all, I don't know what this yarn is. I've had it in my stash for so long that it doesn't have a label or anything. I'm assuming it's acrylic because that's what I worked with when I was younger. But I don't really know.
When she was younger.
When I was younger.
Now I feel really old.
I started knitting when I was 9, so I have been knitting for a while.
I technically have you beat because I started knitting when I was 7.
Okay.
But.
Okay.
Yes, we were babies.
I'm very loosely following the Airy Essential by, I wrote her name down because I didn't want to mess it up. Wera Master, I'm not going to try it.
I don't know if I'm going to assume, which is always horrible.
I think it's Polish.
I was going to say this looks like a Polish or maybe Czech name. Mastakowska is my...
That's what my guess was.
I'm going to show it, but it's probably going to be backwards. So put us up in front of a mirror and then tell us what that is. Oh, goodness, that's terrible.
But it's I just wanted a kind of a lightweight, breezy... I need to separate for sleeves, so you can't really see it very well. Mm-hmm. Lightweight, breezy sweater, and this purple yarn was a good springy color.
I like that raglan detailing.
Yeah, so they're just yarn over increases.
Very cute.
For the raglan. The pattern, again, I'm just loosely following the pattern. It calls for a mohair held double, but I wanted it a little bit thicker, so I went with this. I think it's a DK-ish.
I mean, I would say it's probably a DK, but with the fuzzy, they may have marketed it to be more worsted.
Probably-ish. But, yeah, mohair held double is what the pattern calls for, so...
Or the fluff.
Yes, that's what I was going to say, too. If you want something more like what I'm doing, a little bit thicker, fluff would be more like that.
I would say yours, the closest thing we would have to that yarn would be fluff. It'd be very similar.
Yes.
Very cute.
Yeah.
Love it. Okay. I have worked on my only other whip.
Wow, really?
Well, that's not packed. Okay, so true confessions of a traveling knitter. Here we go. I used to travel a lot for both work and pleasure before the shop, and then sometimes after the shop. So I got into the habit of packing carry-on only, especially for international travel. It's just easier. You don't have to worry about losing your luggage, yada, yada, yada. That being said, it makes it slightly more difficult to bring knitting, but only slightly because it's just lack of room. So luckily I'm going on this knitting retreat. It's a very casual retreat. Like they say, if you want to like lay around in loungewear or pajamas all day, you can. I'm not going to do that necessarily, but I am taking a pair of sweatpants. Okay. It's also going to be freezing. So they actually said, you must bring woolen socks as it's so cold in the manor house. So it's in England, if you haven't guessed by my horrible accent there. So anyway, I'm packing very much a limited capsule style wardrobe, carry-on only, and then I am really mostly taking knitting whips. I'm taking a mix of new projects and some old whips to hopefully finish up. That's my goal. I mean, I'm literally going on a knitting retreat where I will be knitting all day, pretty much, and all night, depending on how late I want to stay up, which I will stay up later. I won't go to bed at 8:30 or 9. I will be sociable. So I'm taking with me my tessellated socks to finish. I'm taking a colorwork sweater that y'all have not seen on the podcast because it's not a test knit. It's the Kerr sweater by Rebecca Clow, but it is in a yarn that we aren't having yet, so I haven't wanted to show it yet and cause too much ruckus with the yarn yet. So I have both of those are whips that I'm taking. I'm trying to think, is there any other project that I'm taking that's already started? I don't think so. Then I'm taking the Frost Fang scarf, which is the Les Garçons mystery box or holiday box that I got in December. Once I finished opening it, I was almost getting ready to cast it on, and then I was like, no, because I was already booked on the retreat, I'm going to take that as kind of a new mindless, like, if the colorwork sweater, if I get to the point where it's like I'm done with colorwork or something like that, that's a fun mindless little scarf to work on. Then I'm also bringing yarn that I showed on the podcast, last time, for my all gray shift. It's gonna be so good. And then it will technically be a whip when I go, but the day before I'm casting on with all of you guys, hopefully, the Copenhagen cardigan by Petite Knit. So I'll have 2 sweaters, a pair of socks, a scarf, a cowl. Oh, and then I also brought emergency yarn in case I use all that up. A yarn for a tank top. Is that too much?
Are you bringing any clothes?
I'm just going to wear like a bunch of layers on the plane and save room. I haven't pre-packed yet to see if it actually all fits. I'm doing like the 333 travel capsule TikTok thing where it's not just like 3 pairs of clothes, but it's similar. You mix and match. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. So, that really had nothing to do with this. But, I guess what I was saying was this is the only other whip I'm working on right now currently. So, I have managed to get a decent chunk done, and I have joined back in the round past the sleeves. This is the balloon sweater by Petite. So it has this really pretty shoulder seam detail down the shoulder slope, and then it'll be picked up. It's kind of a drop sleeve, pick up and knit sleeves. So good. It's not black, it's navy, but it's a very, very dark navy. Look at that. Oh, it's so good. So this is Red Stag Fibre, Her Majesty's Navy. However, if you're thinking that's black, it's not. Like, I have a black shirt on. You can see it's slightly different. It is on the Dachas base, though. So the Dachas base has a gray undertone already, so it just makes Her Majesty's Navy even richer and darker. And no, we don't have any right now. We're currently out, but I'm hoping to be restocking Dachas sock soon because we're getting pretty low. I mean, we have a few colors, but we're getting low. So, one strand of this, and then a strand of, this is Discontinued. This is Shibui Silk Cloud in the colorway Noire. So Noire was their darkest, so Suit was like their navy, and then they came out with Noire a while back, and it was like an almost black blue. So the two of them together makes for a perfect dark navy. Easily you could swap out Deep Marine from Tynn Silk Mohair. It is almost identical to this in terms of being this same kind of blue. I love it. It's gonna be so good. So soft. So I'm just knitting basically on the body, on the round. Just had this weird like deja vu moment where I was like, did I already talk about this? No, I didn't. So yeah, that's it. I don't really have anything else to say about it. I can't tell if I need more coffee or if I've had too much. Like, I'm really having a moment here. Okay, so I'm gonna stop talking about this.
Okay, my last thing I brought.
Yes.
Here's the progress on my Moby sweater. I think last time I just cast it on, right?
Yes, yeah.
So this is the progress.
You've done real well.
Yeah.
That's nice.
So I'm making this. This is the Moby sweater by Petite. This is the back. I'm making this for my dad because he wanted one of those traditional Irish fisherman sweaters. And I wanted to knit this pattern, so it worked out perfectly.
There you
go. This is Scout in Charcoal Heather.
Mm-hmm.
Which I was a little bit worried at first that you wouldn't be able to see all the texture and everything, but I think it comes out well.
Yeah, you really can.
It's a little bit hard to see on the camera, but
it's definitely more noticeable in person than on camera, but it's a great choice.
So
I like it. I really like her new sweater she just came out with, the Esther.
Oh, I saw that too.
And there's a pullover coming.
Oh.
She just dropped that hint. The jacket's released, but the pullover is coming. It was all in Danish. So it was just blah, 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 Esther jacket, blah, 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 something, or anyway, you could just figure out the pullover's coming soon. So my only other project that I've been working on has been the Stocklom, another petite knit. I made some good progress last night.
Ooh, it's looking good.
I'm going to probably, I don't know if technically I'm at the point to do the crown shaping, but I don't want it to be like cone head on me because I like to pull it all the way down and then walk around like this. No, flip it up a little bit like in the front and leave it longer in the back. That's just me. So this is the Stocklom hat by Petite Knit. This is for our little knit along that we're doing. So cute. I love it. I'm using Arbor, which is a DK weight from Brooklyn Tweed, held with Tynn silk mohair in the burnt sugar colorway. The Arbor is burnished, I think. And yeah, I think it's all just one size as far as how many stitches you cast on. But her hats seem to fit me pretty well. So yeah, I'm enjoying it. And it looks like it's going to be cold enough to actually need a hat on this trip that I'm going on. So hopefully, well, I'll have it finished before I leave. So I'll be wearing a hat and 15 layers of clothes on the plane. And yeah, ta-da. So, nope, I didn't lose any stitches. Ha-ha. That's always a good feeling. So, speaking of knit-alongs, since we're kind of talking about that, we've of course wrapping up, or by the time this airs, we've wrapped up the Tulsa Tea knit-along and the Stockholm, or the Beanie along. So thank you so much for participating in those if you have. And then we have just started the Copenhagen cardigan knit along. So there's plenty of time to join in. That is running through the end of May. The end of May? I'm pretty sure, because we wanted to let you guys have a little bit extra time for all the finishing and everything of the cardigan. So Copenhagen cardigan, you're welcome to join us. If you're anti-pockets, it's very easy to leave the pockets out, by the way. I'm probably going to leave the pockets out because I prefer pockets on my pants, not my shirts. It's me. But join us for that. If cardigans aren't your thing, don't worry. We've got several other knit-alongs and crochet-alongs planned for the coming months. The next one I think will start in April. And then, of course, we have our plant-based knit-along that we start every May through Labor Day, basically. And so the plant-based knit-along is just using a majority plant-based yarn, so cottons, linens, bamboos, things like that, and creating basically anything. So it's open to any pattern. If you want to do shawls, if you want to do sweaters, tank tops, pullovers, cardigans, kind of whatever, you can do that. So all the details will be on the website shortly. For the plant-based, it'll probably go up end of March for those details, but all the other knit-alongs that we have that you can participate in are on the website. We have IG groups that you can chat in and see progress, share projects, ask questions, things like that. Yeah, and then the fun part is if you use yarn from the shop, then you're eligible to win a prize at the end as well. But you don't have to purchase yarn from the shop. If you want to join in the community, you are welcome to do that as well and use up some of your stash and participate with us. So, moving on, we're kind of in that weird little lull where everything's stacking up, but it hasn't arrived yet. So, like, just checked, we got 2 more shipping notifications. They're not here yet, but we did get a tiny little restock of some Sunday yarns from SandnesGarn. Not all the colors, but a few colors that were back ordered arrived. Some of the classics like light gray, always a good one. And if you also special ordered a back ordered yarn from Petite, from SandnesGarn, I believe the last of them are shipping out, so stay tuned for that. Then I have Shell. Shell is a real pretty, it's a smidgen lighter than beige, just a smidgen, and a slightly less pink undertone. Of course, electric blue. This, if you want what I used for my Friday tee from Petite last year, or the year before, I don't even remember when that was. This is what I used. No, it's not. Not at all. But this would be really cute for a Friday tee. I used blue, not electric blue, and I used light beige. But this is Shell and electric blue, so you could use that too. I don't even know what I was thinking there.
This is Cocoa Nibs. Nice dark chocolatey brown.
Mm-hmm. That brown is everywhere right now.
Oh, yeah. nutmeg, lighter, kind of gray brown.
Mm-hmm. It has a cool tone to it.
And blue fog.
I like
it's
that.
So cute. It's perfect for spring.
Mm-hmm. And I think we have some blue fog mohair on its way as well. I'm tempted to do, I know it won't get here, but I'm tempted to do another Copenhagen cardigan out of that because I think that would be really cool. So, I think that's about it for the podcast today. Don't really have much else to share other than, oh, yes, we do. Never mind. We have the dates for our 7th anniversary weekend extravaganza. It will be March 22nd, 23rd, and 24th. Yes, we will be open on a Sunday. And we will have a trunk show from Nordic Star, and the dyer Jenny will be here in person on Sunday. So she has another job, so she's not able to be here Friday and Saturday, but she will be here all day. We'll have her yarn, and she'll be here all day on Sunday. We'll be open 11 a.m. to 4, so you can come meet her. She has some really cool neon yarn. She's really into the neons, and she also sources some unique bases that aren't exactly the same as everybody else's. And one of her sock yarns, I really like it. It's using recycled nylon, which is really cool. So yeah, she'll be bringing some sock. I think she's going to bring some mohair as well for the neons. Maybe some DK. She's going to bring a whole bunch of stuff. So we'll also have some fun things. The trunk show will be shoppable online. If you can't make it, don't worry. And we will also have some really fun new things in store that weekend. Definitely a new brand. Actually, I think we're going to technically launch 2 brands that weekend. So, yeah. So exciting. I'm so excited. I'm literally bursting with, I want to tell you all the things, but I can't. Not yet. So stay tuned for all the fun goodies, and then we will see you in 2 weeks for another episode. I will hopefully have tons of finished objects and whips and things to show you from the knitting retreat, and of course I'll let you guys know about it because it is, I mean, obviously it's not like it's a private thing, it's a retreat that you guys could attend as well, so I will let you know all the details and how fab it is, and yeah, looking forward to it. So don't worry, the shop will be open as normal. It will be Kaylee and Kathy holding down the fort along with Surrey. So if you have any questions or want to come play around at the shop when the boss isn't here, come on down. All right, guys, have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Bye.